In the early 90s, he had 2 children out of wedlock with her 2-timing bodyguard, Daniel Ducrouet. And more recently, she had another bouncing baby without revealing who the father is. Royal watcher Richard Meinards.
She attracts scandal like Velcro. She doesn't care a damn what the world thinks.
But the Grimaldis can't compete with a British royal scandal invasion that reached our shores in the 90s.
It has turned out to be an annus horribilis.
Queen Elizabeth wasn't kidding when she said the decade began with a horrible year. The writing on the castle walls was both Prince Andrew and Prince Charles' marriages were in ruins. Fergie slipped up when she was caught having her toes sucked by Texas businessman John Bryant. And Prince Charles and Diana were a royal mess. In 1992, we heard Diana-gate, cell phone conversations believed to be between Diana and a lover who called her Squidgy. But before you could say off with their heads came tape number 2. This one allegedly of Charles and his mistress, Camilla Parker Bowles. All of a sudden, Squidgy sounded downright respectable.
I can't bear a Sunday night without you. It's like that program Start the Week. I can't start the week without you. I fill up your tank.
At this point, Diana and Charles hardly looked at each other. Then the doors of the palace were blown wide open with Diana, her true story. We learned later the main source of the book was Diana, written by former Inside Edition correspondent Andrew Morton. It revealed Di was bulimic and suicidal and said Charles was an uncaring husband.
The motivation was to tell the truth. For once, forget the propaganda, tell the truth about what's really going on.
Now it was a game of she said, he said, and Charles reportedly allowed friends to help out with another book. This one by journalist Nicholas Davis said Diana was the troublemaker.
Shouting and yelling and throwing things. I mean, really, very naughty. And what happened is she drove him away to a great degree.
A big blow to Diana came when her former lover, Captain James Hewitt, made millions by telling his story in yet another book, Princess in Love.
We conducted a relationship in a normal way.
Yes, I was in love with him. But I was very let down.
Some say Di granted her 1995 interview to sway public opinion about her divorce to her side. She needn't have worried. Diana was viewed as the victim.
I think he seems like a real creep, and I think she's absolutely right to decide to be divorced.
In 1996, around the time of Fergie and Andrew's divorce, a settlement was reached. Diana held on to her princess title, continued living at Kensington Palace, and got a $26 million lump sum and $600,000 a year. But Diana said she really wanted privacy.
I will be seeking a more suitable way of combining a meaningful public role with hopefully a more private life.
But single, Diana was pursued more than ever. In an exclusive audio tape obtained by Inside Edition, you could hear Diana's pain lashing out at a photographer.
I can't go out to lunch, and I certainly don't go out in the evening. If we didn't do it. Hide in the back of cars to get out.
But all the attention didn't stop Diana from blossoming. While Fergie got help from Weight Watchers to slim down and pay off her $5 million debt, Diana was going through her own transformation. Shy Di turned into confident, fashionable, and sexy Di, working out with personal trainer Jenny Rivet.
When she saw the results, it really pleased her.
And Di was ready for her summer of love. In 1997, Diana fell for millionaire movie producer Dodi Fayed, Diana's hairdressers Tess Rock and Natalie Simons.
When she was on the phone to him, she would be laughing a lot. You knew he was flattering her on the other side.
She loved his accent. Diana, you drive me mad, or she would walk around and, mimic his voice.
In August, Diana headed to Paris for a romantic getaway with Dodi. She would never return home.
The last words I said to her was, Diana, don't do anything silly. And she said, don't worry, Tess, I won't.
And when we come back, a look at the tragic loss of Princess Diana and how the world mourned her death as Royals in the 90s continues.
Still to come on Inside Edition. The Inside Edition countdown to the Millennium continues.
Quite frankly, no one can ever fill Diana's shoes.
Her life was a gift. Her death touched the world. The decade's final goodbye to Diana.
At home, she'll just be Diana.
And moving on, Diana's royal sons. The prince goes public. Plus, bringing in the new millennium with a new beginning.
I was slightly stunned for a minute.
A special Inside Edition, a decade with the royal family. Inside Edition with Deborah Norville will be right back.
Channel 3 is your place to celebrate the new year.
CBS invites you to the greatest party of all time. Starting with Dave's last primetime show of the century. Then Whitney Houston and Natalie Cole host Grammy's greatest performances. And join Will Smith live from Washington with superstar performances from Trisha Yearwood and Celine Dion. Plus the world premiere of Steven Spielberg's new movie.
Your biggest New Year's celebration is right here on Channel 3 and CBS.
You know how much Grandma wanted to be here for your first Christmas? You see, Grandma lives way down here, and you live way up here. Brian, your cousin, he's a little bit older than you. He lives here in Chicago, and your Aunt Lisa lives here in Baltimore. Uncle Ernie, way out in Hawaii. Oh, but don't you worry. We'll always be together for Christmas.
Being together is the best part of the holidays, and Cheerios is happy to be part of the family.
You just ate Dallas.
Stop by Circuit City's year-end sale for hundreds of markdowns throughout the store and pay no interest till January 2001 on all purchases $2.99 and up. Don't miss Circuit City's year-end sale.
Insurance companies make billions of dollars off the backs of injured people by refusing reasonable settlements, avoiding responsibility, and shifting the blame. Someone has to hold them accountable. We have the strength and resources to stand up to the big insurance companies and get you the money you deserve. Let the power of our law firm work for you. I'm John Heyman, and that's my promise.
At age 31, the top of her career, Celine Dion is saying goodbye.
You are leaving show business?
She's out of here. What made her want to walk away? Next, Oprah.
Oprah tomorrow at 4, followed by Eyewitness News. Go inside, where the exclusives matter.
You said it, not me.
Where the investigations stand out.
How many times are you going to pull this scam off?
Where the moments get to you.
She screamed out for Mommy, and that was it.
How did you get my room number?
No.
Back off.
Don't do that.
We don't give up.
Go inside with Inside Edition.
In the summer of 1997, Princess Diana was happier than she'd been in a long time. Free from her marriage to Prince Charles, she was embarking on a new love affair with Dodi Fayed. But it was a romance that was going to have a very tragic ending. Stacey Sweet takes us to that fated time.
These were the last images the world saw of Princess Diana, captured by a security camera at the Ritz Hotel in Paris. On the evening of August 30th, 1997, Diana and her boyfriend, Dodi Fayed, were spending a romantic night at the hotel owned by Dodi's family. After dinner, they were ushered out a back door. No one could have imagined that Diana had only moments to live. Trailing behind Diana and Dodi's Mercedes were 10 paparazzi photographers on motorbikes. Diana's Mercedes sped into the Paris tunnel, going over double the speed limit. Diana would never make it out. Just after midnight, as this computer recreation shows, Diana's car crashed into a pillar, killing the princess, Dodi, and their driver, Henri Paul. The only survivor was bodyguard Trevor Rees-Jones.
A short while ago, Buckingham Palace confirmed the death of Diana, Princess of Wales.
As people around the world awoke to the news, there was great shock and disbelief. But the reality was Diana, the people's princess, was gone.
I'm really saddened by her death. I felt like I lost somebody that was really close to me.
You just pictured her living till she was very old, and it's just so sad.
The global reaction was one of those moments in history when the whole world seemed to be simultaneously experiencing the same emotion. In this case, great sorrow. Millions of flowers were placed at the gates of Buckingham Palace. And the two people most affected by Diana's tragedy, her sons, William and Harry, made a rare public appearance, saying hello to those who had been touched by their mom. Even the usually aloof Queen Elizabeth was moved to speak publicly about Diana's passing.
And may we, each and every one of us, thank God for someone who made many, many people happy.
Then 2.5 billion people watched Diana's funeral live on television. Few can forget the heart-wrenching images of her sons walking behind their mother's coffin as it made its way to Westminster Abbey. While billions who had never even met Diana mourned, Diana's passing was even harder for those who were lucky enough to have known her, like Diana's former boyfriend, Captain James Hewitt.
I know any loss of life is a waste, but this seemed to sort of be even more so, if that's possible.
Also grieving were Diana's small circle of confidants, including her hairdresser, Tess Rock.
At home, she would just be Diana. That's who I knew. Up until recently, I kept thinking that Diana would come back and that the Princess of Wales is someone else, but she's not.
Before the tears for Diana had even dried, a major investigation was launched into her death. There were conspiracy theories thanks to a witness account of a mysterious white Fiat that was never found, and many blamed the paparazzi. But after a 17-month probe, French authorities concluded that the blame lay with the driver, Henri Paul.
I think it's all coming back to the same thing. The guy was driving too fast when he was drunk.
Since the accident, information has surfaced that has made Diana's death seem all the more senseless. State-of-the-art computer animation has shown that just by wearing a seatbelt, Diana's life could have been saved. Adrian Sanyur of Engineering Animation in Ames, Iowa, worked on the Diana recreation.
It's our opinion that Diana, wearing a seatbelt, survives this crash. Maybe she has injuries, but she survives the crash, and that changes a piece of history.
But all the speculation and what-ifs will not bring Diana back. And as we enter the new millennium, she is one of the people we wish were still here with us, continuing to touch our lives, continuing to be the Princess of Hearts.
Coming up, the once and future King of England, not Charles, but his handsome young son, Prince William.
Production assistance for Inside Edition provided by...
Call now to receive your free hearing evaluation and this free video information kit. Miracle Ear. Because there's nothing more romantic than a good listener.
Stay tuned. There's much more Inside Edition to come. Don't miss a moment of Inside Edition in December. We're showcasing the biggest moments that defined our time. Inside Edition's Millennium Edition.
When I think of Christmas, I think of stuffing and my grandmother Riri. You see, I hate cornbread, so every Christmas she would shoo me out of her kitchen so she could make the stuffing. Well, Christmas night when we're eating dinner, everyone would watch me devour the stuffing, then laugh. Years later, I learned it had cornbread in it. So now that she's no longer with her, we miss her deeply, but every Christmas we look up to the sky and always say, this one's for you. Merry Christmas.
If you've got all the money in the world, then buying a new car is no big deal. But if you're like most of us, buying a new car is a big deal. Don't buy a new car. Get a replacement engine from Nico. Nico stocks factory remanufactured engines for any vehicle. Nico's been installing engines for over 25 years. When you need a replacement engine for your vehicle, call Nico toll-free at 1-800-550-NICO. Nico, installing engines all across America.
If you put something off for an entire year, how would people describe you? Lazy? A procrastinator? How about smart? Introducing Mitsubishi's 000 till 01 event. Buy any Mitsubishi and pay 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until 2001. Hey, why do today what you can do? Mitsubishi's 000 till 01 event ends January 3rd.
The big home centers don't have a clue. How can Connecticut lighting centers offer quality lighting like Murray Feiss at such low prices?
May I help you?
Yes, I see you have lots of lights.
The largest selection in Connecticut.
These are your sale prices?
No.
Aha!
These are our regular prices.
That is impossible!
Connecticut Lighting Centers carries all the top brands, including Murray Feist. What did you have in mind?
Well, over here is...
Visit Connecticut Lighting Centers, Connecticut's largest display of lighting.
Where can you get fast, accurate weather information anytime, any day? WFSB.com. Bookmark it on your PC, at work, or at home. WFSB.com is the place to go to plan your day. Get Channel 3's forecast right from your desktop. And when winter storms hit Connecticut, get up-to-the-minute storm closings. Channel 3's first alert network online at WFSB.com. The weather information you want when you want it. The Channel 3 website, WFSB.com.
If Princess Diana was once the shining star of the British royal family, that honor is now held by her two sons, especially Prince William, who's the boy who will be king. April Wilson reports.
William. Just one look at charismatic Prince William and you can't help but see his mom, Princess Diana. There's the sparkle in his eye and that familiar shy smile. It's clear Diana's greatest legacy lies in both her sons, William and Harry, but it's 17-year-old Prince William, or Wills as the Brits call him, who the monarchy is counting on to carry the family into the next century. He is the boy who will be king, and England could not ask for a more popular heir. Royal expert Richard Meinertz.
He's very tall, blonde hair, blue eyes, and thankfully hasn't got his father, Prince Charles's huge ears. Everyone adores him. He hasn't created any scandal yet.
Over the last decade, we've watched both young princes grow up before our eyes. Despite her private pain, when Diana was with her two boys, she always put on a brave face. She was passionate about showing them as normal a life as possible, a life outside the palace gates. And the paparazzi quickly learned that get too close and you had to deal with a fiercely protective Diana.
As a parent, could I ask you to respect my children's space?
Hairdressers Tess Rock and Natalie Simons were two of Diana's closest confidants. They say Diana was a mom first, a princess second.
And she goes, "You're going to meet my DDGs." And I thought, my God, who am I going to meet? And in comes William and Harry. She goes, "Look, my Drop Dead Gorgeous." She called them Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Diana was always teaching them manners. First time I met them, she'd keep repeating to them, "Good morning, Tess. How are you today, Tess?" And they go, "Good morning, Tess. How are you today, Tess?"
And ironically, Natalie says it was Harry who seemed more interested in taking the throne.
Harry used to burst in and say, "Morning, I'm King Harry." So I think Harry wanted it more than William. William was very quiet, but now I think things have probably changed. I think he'll probably want to show the world that I'm going to be king, and I'm going to be the best king for my mummy.
Royal experts say it could be 25 years until Prince Charles takes over the throne, if the Queen rules until death. William would then become the new Prince of Wales, inheriting $10 million a year.
William, in due course, will become King William V of Britain.
By that time, Will should be a pro at handling the spotlight that comes with his destiny. Just imagine being a teenager and having every date you go on be front page news. Like last year, when in a bizarre twist, he went on a date with a niece of his father's mistress, Camilla, named Emma.
Any young girl that goes out with him is seen as, is this going to be the next Queen of England?
But Will seems to be handling the attention just fine, and that is a testament to his mother, who groomed her elder son to rule England while still knowing how to have fun.
He is going to be the great savior for the British monarchy, the Windsor family, as we hurtle into the next century.
Meantime, there is pressure on Prince Albert of Monaco to have a child. France could actually take possession of Monaco if Albert does not produce an heir. Coming up, the newest member of Britain's royal family. On today's Inside Track, what teenage rite of passage did Prince William drive away with this year? The answer coming up.
Production assistance for Inside Edition provided by...
If you are 50 or over, AARP has benefits created just for you. Join now for just $8. Call 1-800-872-3999.
Stay tuned. There's much more Inside Edition to come.
Now there's a Chevy Venture with flip and fold seats and a built-in entertainment system.
I knew I should have taken a left turn at Albuquerque.
Fun things are bound to happen when Chevy and Warner Brothers get together. Introducing the new Warner Brothers edition from Chevy Venture, the most versatile minivan ever. One quick call can help you learn more.
Let's go!
Every year we surprise someone with $10 million. But not this year.
Publishers Clearinghouse kicks off the 21st century with $21 million. Live on TV Super Bowl Sunday. Watch your mail or go to PCH.com and enter.
What should you do if you're having a heart attack? First, call an ambulance, then take Bear aspirin. Now Bear may help stop you from dying when taken during a heart attack. Talk to your doctor now. Bear, powerful pain relief, and so much more.
Oh, hello. Did you know there are 168 hard-to-reach and, yes, hard-to-clean surfaces in your mouth? Ordinary brushes can't clean all of them like our Reach Plaque Sweeper. It's designed to clean the hardest-to-reach places, even way back here, thanks to Reach's angled neck and bristles. So even if you can't see all those spanking clean surfaces, your dentist certainly will. Reach, we wrote the book on clean teeth.
So what rite of passage did Prince William accomplish? This summer, the prince became king of the road when he passed his driving test. And if that wasn't nerve-wracking enough, he had a few onlookers as he cruised to the finish. She's the newest member of Britain's royal family, and many say she evokes the image and style of Princess Diana. Meet Sophie Rees-Jones when we come back.
Tomorrow.
Putting those final touches on celebrating the new millennium.
Plus, more local news, traffic, and weather on the 3s right here on Channel 3 Eyewitness News this morning.
Eyewitness News this morning, weekdays from 5 to 8 a.m.
Your ride to the new millennium is about to leave. Will you miss it?
Stop by Circuit City's year-end sale for hundreds of markdowns throughout the store and pay no interest till January 2001 on all purchases $2.99 and up. Don't miss Circuit City's year-end sale.
The Hollywood Hills are alive with the sound of laughter.
What did King Arthur call his sword?
The circumciser. Catch Jason Alexander on the next Hollywood Squares.
Hollywood Squares tonight at 7:30 p.m. on WFSB.
The century's most controversial stories out of Hollywood tonight at 11.
Inside Edition has been devoting special shows exclusively to the hottest topics and the biggest moments of our time. Next time on Millennium Edition, all about movies. Decades of movies that made their mark on us all.
Year after year after year just seems to appeal across the board to audiences.
Millennium Edition. Decades of movies. Only on the next Inside Edition.
And finally today, last summer, the Windsors added a photogenic new member to the family, and many in Britain are expecting the new bride of Prince Edward, Sophie Rees-Jones, to be the next Princess of Hearts. Steve Gendell reports.
It was the last British royal wedding of the 20th century. Last summer, Queen Elizabeth's youngest son, Edward, tied the knot with Sophie Rees-Jones. At the bride and groom's request, this wedding had less pomp and pageantry than royal weddings of the past. But still, a reported 200 million tuned in to watch the ceremony on TV. And everyone was talking about Sophie's striking resemblance to Princess Diana. But royal watcher Richard Meinards says it's unfair to expect Sophie to replace Diana.
Certainly she looks like Diana. I think she obviously has the intentions to support charities like Diana, but quite frankly, no one can ever fill Diana's shoes.
Before her wedding, Sophie told the press how she felt when Edward popped the question.
I was slightly stunned for a minute, and then I suddenly realized I should actually answer the question, so then I said yes.
But Sophie quickly learned that being royal can also be a real royal pain. A topless photo of Sophie, taken a decade ago, surfaced recently in the London Sun. But jaws at the palace didn't drop too far. The Queen supported Sophie, saying the publication of the photograph was, quote, a gross invasion of privacy and not in the public interest. But unlike the often fragile Diana, many say Sophie is better prepared to handle the intrusive paparazzi After all, Sophie runs her own public relations firm. And there will no doubt be plenty of flashbulbs in Sophie's life as the newest addition to the House of Windsor.
Indeed. And that's Royals for the 90s. I'm Deborah Norville. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time when we take a look at movies in the 90s. Take care.